Today, let us have a look at the Grapple solution framework. The Grapple solution framework consists of three main parts: the Grapple API generator, the Grapple UI module factory, and the Grapple platform. The Grapple API generator and the Grapple UI module factory can be orchestrated as a package in a Grapple application set. Let us explore the solution together. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at the Grapple API generator. The main use cases for the Grapple API generator are automating the generation of APIs or to reduce the efforts to maintain an API. As Grapple is based on an object relation mapping system, ORM, there are two ways of getting started. Either you have an existing data structure in a data source, or you specify the data structure and Grapple will make sure the data structure is created in the data source. Now we will focus on working with the Grapple API generator using existing data sources. This is the data source we will use. It contains a couple of tables with data in it. The Grapple API generator will automatically generate a fully fledged API based on this data structure. Let's get started with an empty namespace with this simple Grapple application set manifest. Let's deploy it into the cluster. That will trigger the generation of the API. After a while, the API was generated in the cluster alongside with some other Kubernetes resources. Let's explore the result in the browser. Alongside with the API endpoints, you can also see an open API specification and an API explorer. In this view, you can see a reflection of the data source in form of an API, and for sure, you can interact with the API, read and write the data. Next, let us take a look at the Grapple UI module factory. I simply enabled the UI module generator by adding a couple of lines to the Grapple application set manifest. Then we apply the updated application set manifest into the cluster and see that the new pod was generated. After a while, the UI models were generated. Let's explore the outcome in the browser. It has generated for us reusable and highly flexible federated modules. A components page to verify the design of the modules, a module overview page that shows a list of all reusable modules, and last but not least, the remote entry.js, the interface for consuming the modules in remote applications. The automatically generated modules can be easily consumed. You just need to reference the remote entry.js in your Webpack configuration. Then add the desired UI module to your application and start the app. It's possible to configure the modules using props. And you can simply pick another module. And configure it with the props again to fit the needs of the consumption application. There is also an extended admin module for managing the data in each data table. Let's now play a bit around with the props to demonstrate the flexibility and configurability of the generated UI modules. When generating code, APIs and UIs, the problem usually is the complexity. So let us take a look at how to manage complexity with Grapple. Here an example for an extensive filter. You can produce nearly any SQL query with our flexible generated APIs. All filters can be injected through the props while consuming one of the UI models. Another example of complexity are relations. The relation is not only visible in the API, but fully integrated in the UI. And here an example with a parent-child relation. Grapple allows to implement business logic and extended complexity using injections. You can extend the code by using all generated functionality and attaching the code fragments in base64 encoded form to the application set. This way you can generate additional API endpoints or additional UI modules that can be deployed, managed, and consumed in the same manner as the other Grapple features. Using the modules of the Grapple UI module factory and the generated Grapple instant APIs, we can build applications like these within hours.